Hello, welcome back to my channel. And guys, today I'm going to be teaching you about my 30-90-30-90 method. So if you've never heard about this before, good, I invented it. I'm sure other people have thought of it in their own lifetime because humans just repeat themselves, but this has changed my life and I really think it's going to help you to feel more organized, more aware, like you're actually building a life that takes care of you instead of just spending your entire life taking care of everyone but you, right? So you really have to like guard you and your heart first because everything flows from it, right? So I am going to walk you really easily and quickly through how you can get grounded in today, get more prepared for tomorrow, and then also just reflect on your past without dwelling and living in it. Let's get started. So the method is called 30-90-30-90. You can probably guess this, but it's because I want you to look back at your last 30 days, then look back at your last 90, and then from there we look at your next 30 days and your next 90. The whole point is being able to feel extremely centered with where you are today, feel really present with what you have today, but also understand what got you here. So the number one reason that I came up with this, and the reason I think it has changed my life so much and why I believe it'll change yours, is because this is for women, this is for all the women out there. Your time of month that you have this month actually reflects the stress amount, the lifestyle, and like the health that you were living in 90 days ago. So you actually are like shedding from 90 days ago, right? And so everything is so connected, you guys, and I often will realize like some of the things that my body is even processing or going through is from maybe the hustle that I had 90 days ago instead of like my relaxing week when I feel like I'm burnt out and spiraling, right? So I just want you to know like everything is really connected. Sometimes it takes time for your body to process things. We have so many processes happening in our body. We can look to your calendar, but also you just need to know like your body's always up to something. It is processing a lot, like I said, and it needs maintenance and it needs time and reflection in order to really like effectively move through what it's going through. First things first, you're going to look back on your first 30 days and you're going to just like reflect on what happened. So I have 3 questions for you to ask. How was it? What happened? And what did you do well? Second part of that question is what would you do differently? You're gonna ask those 3 questions for every single sector, but the last 30 days, I would say, is where most of the gold is hidden. It's still fresh. You're still thinking about it, right? You're still in it. It's the closest to where you are today. Asking yourself those 3 questions first, allowing yourself to really process and journal and get those answers down is going to be really helpful. From there, you're going to then go from 30 to 90. So we look out at 3 months ago, where you were, who you were, and I want you to answer those same questions. Once you have that down, you really have a snapshot of your past, and you have a snapshot of what you've done that gives you information not on, wow, I was so fit then, or I was so successful then, or I was so unhappy then, right? Like you are who you are today, but how are we going to become who you want to be with that information? That's like where the magic really happens within this method. So I want you to look at the answers from the last 30 days and the last 90 days. And then I want you to really think through and answer these next questions. And that is, what do I want to take with me into the next 30? And what do I want to leave in the last 90 and 30? So again, very similar to the ones that you answered, but practically what could that be? It could be jobs, clients, people, could be practices, habits, ways you're treating yourself, hard patterns, feeling burnt out. There are just things that work in one time that don't work with where we're going. And so getting very clear on that is key. I want you to also be able to think through like, what are at least 3 things? Maybe don't go over that. One thing, I'm the kind of person where I'm like, I don't want to take 19 things with me, but I'll take 43, right? I don't know if you're like that. Maybe it's hard to even think about 1 or 2. We all process so differently, but if you have 3 measurable things, it's gonna make it a lot easier to stay on track and on target. So get those clear. And then I want you to then look at your next 30 and put in your calendar how you can do that. So if you don't want to be burnt out and you felt really burnt out the last 90 and 30 days, then take out the activities that are causing that and replace a few of them. You can't just quit your life probably, right? But like if you're overworking until 7 p.m. every single day, how can you set a boundary and put rest in intentionally at least 3 days a week? That would be like a huge habit shift that changes your life. So that could be one thing. If you want to nourish your body more intentionally, and you want to be able to feel more strong, and that's something that you really want to be able to take into the next chapter that we're going into, start to meal prep. Start to like put time into your Sundays to do that, and your Wednesdays, right? Place it in there practically for the next 30 days. From there, you don't have to schedule 90 days out, but then we go into our phase 4, our last part, which is 90 days from now. And I just want you to answer this last question, and it is, who do I want to be in 90 days? One thing that I want to give you permission on is like, you're gonna be you, right? But 90 days is a very short, achievable, yet astronomically powerful amount of time. Psychologically, you actually like can't plan practically beyond 90 days. It gets a bit overwhelming psychologically. So actually just being able to ground yourself and not live and put your hope in who you could be in 90 days, but actually ground yourself and say, this is really where I want to be at that time, and this feels actionable and measurable. It anchors you so that you have a point you're moving toward over the next 30 days, and then the next, and then the next. That is the 30-90-30-90 method, and I hope that this just brings you clarity and is something that you can do in 10 minutes that allows you to feel grounded and empowered with what God's doing with you in your life over the next 90 and 90 and 90 days, all the way until heaven. So if you have any questions, please drop them below. I love a good planning question. I love a good question about like getting life in order. Like I've told you guys in other videos, used to be a chaotic mess. Sometimes I still have tornado tendencies. So these are coming from someone who gets it, no matter what phase of life you're in. I get it, you're safe, you can be organized, and you don't have to be perfect to feel empowered. So enjoy this, let me know what you think in the comments, and make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.